Welcome YouTube fans, this is Ricky back with yet another Transformers Prime video review, and today we'll be looking at Commander Class Cyberverse Bulkhead. So, here we are, and this is him. Now, he is just an excellent representation of his on-screen character's vehicle mode. You have a little bit of junk here, and you can see his fists and see that these are his legs, but everything compacts quite nicely. He rolls very well. Take off his little weapon here so I can show that off. He comes complete with his little clear translucent wrecking ball, which is done quite nicely, very detailed, very similar to what he wields on the show. Put that to the side, and we'll get a look at the actual figure himself. He has really nice clear translucent blue on his hood and on the top of the vehicle, nice painted in windows, nice grill paint, no headlights though, sadly. Turn to the back, his taillights are a nice vibrant red. There's no detailing here or paint details back here like windshield and whatnot, but overall a very, very, very nice, hefty, bulky representation of his character from the show. Now we'll get to take a look at size comparisons. Here he is next to RID Bulkhead, RID Bumblebee, and Bulkhead looks quite hefty. He's a little bit more than half the size of the deluxe class figure. They look nice together, I guess, but you can get a better idea of how big and bulky this guy actually is compared to a new deluxe figure. We'll get Bumblebee out of the way. We'll bring in his version, and as you can see looking from here, Bulkhead is pretty much in scale with this Legion class figure. He's bulkier, he's bigger, he's heftier, he's a big truck, which he's supposed to be in the show. Bumblebee is a sleek, small sports car, so it just works. And they just look excellent together, side by side. We take Bumblebee out of here, and we bring in his fellow commander, Wavemate Optimus. And you can see that Optimus is just a hair longer than Bulkhead, but Bulkhead is a lot bigger and heftier. However, size comparison-wise, this truck should be about up to here, and Bulkhead should be lower because this is an 18-wheeler versus a civilian. But overall, again, not too bad. Now we get on to what everybody came here to see, and that is the transformation of this sucker. So let's just get right down to it. First of all, I like to start by transforming the lower half of the figure by unpegging the feet, the legs here, and you'll see there's a tab right here that goes into a hole right here and a hole right here, peg there, hole there. Then you want to rotate the feet around, snap them in place. I'm going to come here and push down and pop up, and you'll see, I don't know how clearly you can see, but there's two little tabs, one right there and one right there, and they just kind of rest right under this section right here. You rotate up, and there's a little tab right here that's going to peg into this hole right here. You bring that up and make that tab into place and straighten up his legs, and there's his lower torso. Come back here, unpeg the wheel, you'll see there's a hole right there in his arm, and there's a peg right there that just pegs right in. The same thing over here, unpeg, fold down. That allows you to free up his arms. Then you want to take and not pop off his arm. That, unfortunately, on mine is a quality control issue that happens a lot. The arm likes to pop off on me. But what you want to do is you want to bring the arm down like this, and I'll show you with this arm on camera. You want to hold in place and bring it down. Then you want to come up here to the front, and you want to flip back this panel, flip back this panel here, and you want to rotate and bring down, rotate, bring down. Then you want to turn the arm, position everything, and there you have Commander Class Bulkhead in his robot mode, and I think just looking excellent. I mean, look at this head sculpt, people. It is spot on accurate to his CG model. You set him down, and he just pops. He just screams Bulkhead from the show. Now you take his little weapon here, and he can hold it like this as a melee weapon. He can hold it like this as a mace. He can hold it like this as a gun. But it's really meant, as you can see, the grooves and indentation marks. You're supposed to plug it right here in the hole, just above his wrist, like this. In either wrist, it works in either wrist, and then you give him that illusion that he has his wrecking ball from the show, which just completes the overall aesthetic that this definitive Bumblebee figure that you're going to get from the Prime line versus the RID Voyager, which is not very good. This is it. This is the best you're going to be able to do. Now that we have him in robot mode, let's take a look at his articulation. He has very limited head movement due to these little pads right here, but he can move his head back and forth. He has a full twist at the shoulder all the way around. His elbow has a swivel and a bend, and he has a little bit of upper shoulder movement, but it's really tight, and I don't recommend using it because it will pop off his shoulders real easily, just like that. That proves it. Now, again, it could just be mine. It may just be a quality control issue. I don't know. But with mine, it tends to happen a lot. Also, you can raise and lower the shoulder a little bit to get a little bit more bulkiness to him, depending on how you like to pose him, how you like to have him displayed. He has in and out, full range of leg movement. He has a knee which bends pretty much. If you want to break his leg, he can have a bend at the knee, but it only goes back so far. And due to his transformation, he does have a little bit of toe movement, if you want to count that, and nothing at all at the waist, but that's because of his transformation. Now that we've taken a look at his articulation, let's take a look at some size comparisons, shall we? Here he is with his fellow wrecker, Generations Wheeljack. I chose Wheeljack because Jackie in the show was his partner, and I wanted to show off a size comparison to what he would look like if he was up against a deluxe figure, so I chose Jackie. You can see that he's still pretty girthy. He's still pretty big and bulky, and he is about to the waist of a deluxe class figure, so he's really not that bad in size as far as that is concerned. We take that away, we bring in a Legion class Viacon, and you can see from this point of view that he is actually bigger than he should be for the Legion class figures, because realistically the Viacon should be probably around here as far as Bulkhead is concerned. He should be about up here somewhere, but it's not that bad. He can still bash him and wreck him all over the place as the wreckers do. Then we bring in one last size comparison, and that's his wave mate, the Commander class Starscream figure. And as you can see, Starscream is quite taller than Bulkhead, which is actually show accurate. Starscream unfortunately does not like to stand, and I'll get to that in his review later on. As you can see, Bulkhead is quite shorter than Starscream, but in the show that's accurate. Starscream is actually quite tall, and we're going to get to look at some issues with Starscream's height in this figure when I transform him and show him in the next review. I'll use him up against Megatron, and you'll see some issues that I have with his size there. But this is actually not that bad. Overall, I say, is this figure worth it? Is he a necessity? Yes, he is. Out of the Commander class set, the first four, I don't have an Ironhide or a Dreadwing yet because I've not been able to locate them. But out of the four, I say Bulkhead and Megatron are the must-haves from the wave. Now, that's taking nothing away from Starscream or from Optimus. They're both great figures as well. But if you can only get two, get them. If you can only get one, get Bulkhead. Megatron should be probably second in that scenario. But Bulkhead should definitely be the first figure you pick up out of this wave. So with that, this is all I can say is get him, get him, get him. If you can find him for a good price, not them crappy, overpriced eBay bidders, if you can find him for a decent price, get him, get him, get him. I cannot say it enough. He is really, really worth it. A nice little pocket-sized Bulkhead to have on your desk or to carry around and just tinker with. So with that, I guess that's all there is to say. This is Ricky saying thank you and have a great day.